All right, welcome to another episode of the SNG Weekly Wrap Up, presented by the SNG Network. We're on week 4, Ultimate Bracket of Things. We are going to find our finalists here for the final four, the big Ultimate Bracket of Things. I'm excited about this. So, Joe, you have 2 wins already.
I do.
Your side, you have who is it? Rolling Stones and Jack Black.
And Jack Black, correct.
And then AJ, you came out with a big win last week with
Who
Ketchup.
who knew that was gonna turn out the way it turned out? I'm very happy about my condiment victory.
Yeah, phenomenal. I'm happy to see Ketchup in the Ultimate Final Four here. So we've got, like we say, Rolling Stones, Jack Black, Ketchup. We're trying to find that 4th seed. Dan, how are you feeling this week? You think you might pull out that final one?
Maybe. I was trying to think like what's universally liked that could maybe make it in there. And I was thinking of some sort of bracket that had pizza in it. But I didn't in the end. So I don't know. There's a few big hitters in my bracket this week, but I don't know what they're up against yet, so we'll find out.
Yeah, I went with a little different approach this week, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, I'm excited for it. Let's jump right in. Let's get right into it. If you haven't
Your
watched,
approach is aiming to lose and therefore possibly ending up winning.
We'll see what my approach is. I think it'll make for good debate. But yeah, let's jump right in. Let's do it. If you haven't watched the last 3 weeks there, just click on SNG Network. You'll see them there. Joe, your region is up first, so I'll hand it over to you.
So we have talked about retail quite a bit during kind of this whole era of this show. In multiple formats, we've talked about retail. So there might be some. I don't think there's any repeats here. Actually, I tried to not have repeats from the mall draft and some other things we've discussed. This is the defunct stores region, and Dan, I'm hoping you know most of these. The titles of the stores are pretty self-explanatory, so that helps. But anyway, these are defunct stores. Blockbuster does have 1 store remaining in Bend, Oregon, but for the most part, it is considered a defunct brand. So to start off, it is the number 1 seed, aforementioned Blockbuster versus 8, which I did not know was defunct. Babies R Us.
I didn't know it was defunct either, Joe, until you sent your list over this morning. I'll start. It's Blockbuster is going to be tough to beat. Blockbuster is going to be really tough to beat.
There's a big gap between Blockbuster and all the other stores. Because Blockbuster is really the only store that we still should have. Technology has moved past. Technology has moved past, but there are still times when you just want to go down to the store and get the goddamn movie you want and just rent it, So
I don't know that I totally agree with that. I think we've moved. I think technology has helped us move past Blockbuster. You can just rent a movie, on your computer or on your TV. But I love let's save the Blockbuster discussion. I think we're pushing it through 3-0 here, so let's save it for the next round.
I think Babies R Us has it's Toys R Us in America, yeah. Did you have that?
Yes, but
Toys R Us.
No,
I think that's defunct as well.
But yeah, I'm just saying, it's because Toys R Us is defunct here, but we had something called Mother Care, which I think was probably like the same as Babies R Us, which is also defunct now. So, I'm happy to see that go out. It's one of those things that unless you're a parent, these stores are never of any interest, because it's not like a kid goes into Babies R Us or Mother Care and goes, oh, what can I get in there today? It's only you have to be a parent to, and I think that's why those stores struggle, because their demographic is so unique and so sort of defined off the bat that you don't just get passing trade. You have to be a parent of a young child between I don't know, newborn and 4 years old or something like that. So yeah, get that out of there. Blockbuster all the way.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm glad to see it go. 4th-seeded Borders and 5th-seeded Comp USA. Dan, do you know either of these stores?
Borders. Doesn't Kanye have a lyric? We met at Borders.
Yeah, it does.
Told me. Is
Told
that
me
is
to be
that?
more supportive. Yeah.
Yeah, told me to be. Is that? Would he be talking about Borders, the shop?
I mean, I think it's probably the old double meaning. I think
Yeah.
maybe we've met at like a border of life.
Yeah.
Could be.
What do they sell?
They were like a
Books,
Barnes
right?
and Noble.
Books.
Books, yeah,
Okay.
books, movies, poster. I actually I don't know what Comp USA is, Joe.
Computer sales.
I mean, I figured it was computers. I'd never seen the store. I love Borders. Barnes and Noble's better. Borders had Seattle's best coffee, and that's why it's now defunct. I
Really?
think, as opposed to Starbucks.
I mean, I would probably out of these. So, did Comp USA, did that sell like TVs,
No,
computers,
it was like
laptops?
office equipment, like desktop computers.
Okay. I mean, that sounds like more my kind of store. So, I'll vote Comp USA. But it might get 2-1.
I'm
Shut
going
up.
Borders, AJ. So I'll leave it up to you. I love Borders. I think there's still room for I go to Barnes and Noble quite often. I like to walk around, smell the new books, figure out what I'm going to buy. I like Borders.
Nothing like the scent of
A new book.
cracking open a new book and just wafting it in.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really have many strong feelings here, but I guess I would choose books over technology. So
2-1.
Borders. 2-1. Borders goes through. All right, Joe. What are we looking at the other side?
Our 3-6, Sports Authority. Again, Dan, self-explanatory. And Sleepy's. Mattress.
Beds?
The rest of your life.
Yeah, for the rest of your life. AJ, you want to start on this one?
yeah, I like Sports Authority. I had a friend, not a friend, cousin who worked there, and when they get rid of stuff that was like on the floor for too long, they would just like let him take it home. So he got like all this crazy cool stuff, huge trampoline, jet ski parts, basketball hoop. Sports Authority.
Cool. I like your logic there. I like your reasoning. Dan, you want to go? I'm
Yeah,
undecided.
sports shop every day over a mattress place. I mean, how long has Sports Authority been gone? I feel like I visited a Sports Authority in one of.
That's what. Long. Yeah, it's not too long. About a year and a half. I would say.
Okay,
right?
yeah, definitely have been to one then. Yeah, Sports Authority for me.
I am going to throw a Sleepy's vote out there. I wanted to make sure Sports Authority would go through, but I want to give it to Sleepy's for the jingle. I always like their commercials. I always like their little cartoon.
For the
man.
rest of your life.
Yeah, it was great. It always made you. It was just comforting. It just made you feel like an adult when you were a kid watching that commercial. I don't know. There's something nice about Sleepy's, but
did you know
Sports
Sleepy's was defunct?
I did. Yeah, I did because I needed a mattress not too long ago, and the first place I looked was Sleepy's, and it didn't exist. Yeah. So I had to go to Mattress Firm.
It was bought out by Mattress Firm. So
okay. All right. That makes sense.
The mattress industry.
Makes sense.
2-7. Radio Shack versus Linens and Things.
This might be easier than Blockbuster versus Babies R Us. Why would I ever want a Linens and Things store to advance through on this bracket? Give me Radio Shack. Also, shout out Bruce Bishop, one of the key workers at Radio Shack for quite some time. I guess before it was defunct, but yeah, shout out Bruce. AJ, Dan, any thoughts?
Dan?
Yeah, I mean, it feels like another one of those where, like, what's interesting to someone 30 and under, who probably, whenever these stores went defunct, were a lot younger as well, is someone aged sort of between 10 and 25 interested in linen and things, like male, probably not. So yeah, Radio Shack all day long. Again, I don't think I've ever visited a Radio Shack, but we have similar stores that are now defunct
Yeah.
in the UK as well. So yeah, shout out to those tech stores.
AJ, would you have
Radio
voted
Shack.
Radio Shack? Yeah. Okay.
Cool.
Yep,
Good.
clean sweep.
Good.
So I think this is my my first. Wait, did Borders win? Borders
Borders
won.
won. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it's
all chalk.
my first chalk.
Yep.
All right. So two heavyweights here, Blockbuster and Borders.
I'll go first on this one. Blockbuster is the only one out of these four remaining that we had in the UK. So I have like a it's the only one that I have any sort of tie to.
I'm very surprised you didn't have Radio Shack. I thought Radio Shack.
Yeah, Radio Shack
Yeah,
wasn't
me too.
wasn't
universal.
a store in the UK. But yeah, I have to go with Blockbuster. It was one of those cool. We actually had a smaller independent video store that we used to use that was slightly like closer to home than Blockbuster was, but Blockbuster always used to have obviously like a bigger selection of films, and for me actually growing up it was more renting video games than it was films. And every weekend, you know, I'd rent out a different video game, and that was how you got to play so many different games. So yeah, I think it was like, you know, £2.50. I think Blockbuster was slightly more expensive actually. It might have been £2.50 at the independent one and £3.50 for a weekend at Blockbuster. But yeah, nothing beat getting up early on a Saturday morning and going down to the video store like when it opened, renting out the latest game, playing it till Sunday night, and then returning it at like 6 p.m. On a Sunday evening. So yeah, Blockbuster for me, a lot of good memories.
And then nothing was worse than when you had a game or a movie in mind and you went and it was like back ordered.
It's awful.
Yeah, that was such a terrible feeling.
Whole plan ruined.
Yes, yeah,
but like
exactly.
to trump that though, even further of what's better than when the game was in stock is when you turned up and I remember turning up and like they'd only just got in like the brand new game, and the lady was like transferring it from its like original packaging to the new like video store packaging, and like putting in like the little sleeve thing and stuff, and that was pretty cool knowing that you had like a brand new game and you were like the first person to rent it. It was very cool.
Yeah, but Blockbuster, it's the best. I love Borders, so I just want to get it out there that, you know, Borders is great. I love Borders, but Blockbuster's the best. I love the popcorn that only pops halfway. And just like walking around the aisles, because we went to independent video store as well, Dan, probably more often. Shout out West Coast Video in Midland Park. But there's just something special about Blockbuster. You know, you walk in, you got the card, you got the colors, and it's another store. It just like everything's just so fun. I don't know. I miss Blockbuster. I really do. It's totally impractical now, and I know why it doesn't exist, but I still miss it. Gotta send it through.
They could at least have kiosks. Why don't they have kiosks?
Well, they do. They're called Redbox, and they're outside Walgreens, and a bunch of olds go there.
It was just like rebooted the router, so maybe it was something to do with my road. So yeah.
All right. So Blockbuster's in the final. Joe, bring us back. What's our matchup on the other side?
So we have a chock full 2-3 Radio Shack and Sports Authority.
Radio Shack and Sports Authority. This is a tough one.
I'll go first, I guess.
Yeah, you go first.
Radio Shack was going out of business for like what
15
felt like
years.
the better part of a decade. Yeah. They were just constantly going out of business sales. Everything is 60 to 80% off, and then they just never left. It was like, when is this going to become a new store? But I guess it was pretty cool because, you know, I got a bunch of cheap stuff. And then I went back and got some more cheap stuff.
It was great. It was like allposters.com.
For that.
You go to allposters.com. Yeah, they've had a 50% sale through next Thursday for the last like 4 years. So and I love that. So anytime I need a poster,
It's always the next Thursday.
Yes, yeah, exactly. But I love that about Radio Shack too. I'm gonna go Sports Authority though. Just more stuff. I always love going there, getting a new mitt, getting new cleats. Also, I believe it's where I bought my Brett Favre Jets jersey. So it's hard. It was either there or Modell's, but I'm pretty sure it was Sports Authority. So it's hard to vote against that. So Dan, I'll give you the deciding vote here.
I think I will have to side with Sports Authority as well. We've had like this. I'm kind of basing these on UK stores that were similar that have gone defunct. And we had a few. We had one called JJB Sports, All Sports. There was Sport and Ski. They've all kind of moved and become different things, but yeah, definitely a lot of fun to go to a sports store. So I'm going to put that through over Radio Shack.
Nice. Awesome. All right. Well, then that brings us to the final, Joe.
And that is Sports Authority and Blockbuster.
One of you guys can start.
I mean, I'll start. And I'm going to have to go with the same logic I had in the last round, and it's that Blockbuster's the only one really on the board that I have any personal connection or personal kind of feeling towards. And for that reason, I would be delighted to see it put through.
AJ?
Yeah, I mean, when you think of, like, I don't know how we're rating this, like, which was the better store, which store should still be around, which store do you miss the most?
I think that's all the same. I think that's all in the same breath.
Yeah, and I, trying to answer these questions in my head, I think it's Blockbuster. It when you think back to the stores of old and the memories that were made there, it's Blockbuster.
Yeah, it's Blockbuster. Blockbuster for me too. That's a clean sweep. I think that was kind of obvious from the start. I think
was that a 12-0, or did you have a vote for Borders?
I voted for Borders. Yeah, I threw a vote in for Borders.
So it's not a Jack Black.
No, it's not quite a Jack Black win. No. Yeah, so I got a vote in there for Borders. Just wait, did I vote for Borders? No, I know it is a 12-0. That was a 12-0. I voted for Sleepies. That's what I was thinking of. Voted for Sleepies against Sports Authority. Yeah, that was a 12-0 for Blockbuster. So we'll see. We'll see if it can continue its perfect season. If Joe gets another perfect season region, that would be frustrating. So all right, so Blockbuster goes through. We get to my end of the bracket here, which is the BLT region. This was inspired by me eating a BLT and thinking I want to make some things that starts with B's, L's, and T's. And then I decided I just wanted to give you guys a bunch of awful things to have to debate. So my 1 seed in the BLT region is a broken arm. So your arm is broken, going up against the 8 seed, which is losing your phone.
I got a question about the way you seeded these.
Yeah, sure.
Like, what makes a broken arm the number 1 seed? Is that like the last thing you want to have, or is it like the best of the worst? How was this in your mind?
That's a good question.
Oh, that's a great question. I just thought of things that started with B's, L's, and T's that would be good competition for each other. And the first one I thought of was breaking your arm versus losing your phone. Which would you rather do? So then it was my 1 versus 8.
So it is the preferable.
No, honestly, this one is
so it's not seeded.
Yeah,
you're thinking about it versus as just the matchup.
I just thought of 4 matchups and they had to be seeded in one way or another. So yeah, there's no, in my mind, I think, well, in my mind, this one, it's not a 1 versus 8, but I think I would prefer the higher seed. So
yeah, I'll go first on this one. I've done both. I've broken my arm and I've lost or like had phones stolen, basically. I'm seeing that as more like that could class as losing your phone. And Both are incredibly inconvenient. I think I would probably still rather lose my phone, because obviously you can get a new phone, and if you're smart as I am now and you have your phone insured, you can get it replaced pretty quickly, whereas a broken arm takes several months to get back into sort of working shape. So like I said, I don't know whether we're rating these on what we would prefer to happen or what's worse. But
right, that was my question. But it seems like
Yeah.
we're doing what's preferable to.
preferable
Yes,
would be.
yeah.
I would rather lose my
You
phone.
do whatever you want.
I would rather lose my phone. So I'll put losing your phone through. Well, that's my vote at least. Sorry, I'm not putting it through.
Yeah, no, I feel the same exact way. I have lost my phone. I believe I have iCloud set up. Even if I
Mhm.
don't, I hate having a phone as it is, and that's an easy one for me.
Yeah.
Same. Yeah.
I'm
I
shocked.
sometimes I lose my phone on purpose just to get away from it all for a little bit.
Yeah,
Breaking my arm, that
Yeah.
would suck. I would not like to break my arm. I couldn't do any of my activities.
I'm surprised, guys. I gotta say, I think losing your phone is a stressful, frustrating thing. But I don't have anything backed up on iCloud, so that's fine.
Yeah. I think as well, it's kind of circumstantial, or like, depending on your like level of privilege, because to some people losing your phone might be catastrophic to the point where it's way worse than breaking your arm, because you don't have the means to replace that phone, or you might rely on that phone way more than your left arm or something. But so I think I'm coming from like a lucky point of view that I could probably replace a phone.
Could replace your arm too.
If that was like losing, actually, it wouldn't make any difference. Losing your arm would definitely be putting losing your phone through.
Yes.
So yeah, I think is it a 3? It's a 3-0 sweep for the 8 seed.
3-0, losing your phone goes through. So we have our 4 versus 5 matchup. We've got burnt toast versus leftover French fries.
Okay, I'm gonna need time scales here, because the leftover French fries. How long are we talking? Have they got?
So we'll say 24 hours leftover.
Oh.
Versus extremely burnt toast.
I mean, I would think I would probably still rather have the burnt toast than the French fries. French fries after 24 hours are completely different. Like,
Yeah, that's a lot of time.
yeah.
But I mean, can they be reheated? I mean, this doesn't have to be straight out of the
And is the toast
the bag here?
Is the toast completely all the way through like black, like burnt?
There's edges around the crust that are dark brown and not black.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, for me, it's burnt toast for sure. You with fries, like you can't reheat them the right way.
Yeah.
They just, once you put them in the fridge, they're like not even French fries anymore. There's certain foods that, like, there's the hack for pizza to get like the crispy crust and the melted cheese. There's even hacks for reheating rice and not have it be like crunchy and shit.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I mean, you put French fries in the air fryer and in the frying pan, whatever you want, they still ain't coming out like fresh out, the first time.
Yeah.
So
just
slather some butter on that burnt ass toast.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe some jam, a preserve or two.
Yeah.
Joe, which were you going with? Burnt toast is going through, but what are you?
Yeah, I would probably have voted for French fries just because it's not the ideal. It's not the perfect fry. It's still to me better than burnt toast. I agree. Throw some butter on there. It's not quite as it is tolerable. But I gotta say the fries here.
Okay.
Yeah. There's always the salvage technique as well with burnt toast, where you can scrape off a lot of the burnt matter. So I'm going to assume that is available on the burnt toast. That underneath it there is something that's sort of not completely burnt through. Whereas I just think, the French fries, like even leftover French fries, like an hour or 2 hours after they were, if you're talking about like the like kind of McDonald's type, like really thin French fries, like after an hour they're just like disgusting. So
Yep.
yeah, definitely.
Even for me with French fries, if I'm getting them to go, by the time, if it's 10 minutes to get home, by the time I get home, I don't want to eat them. No, it's burnt toast all the way. All right, so other side of the bracket, we've got your 2 seed Ted Bundy versus your 7 seed Bill Cosby.
Oh, right down there. I feel like I don't know a lot about the Cosby cases and what he actually did. Bundy,
Joe, why don't you explain it?
I mean, I know like the outline and stuff, but Bundy, I watched the Netflix doc on him. I didn't see the film with the guy from High School Musical. Can't think of his name.
Zac Efron.
But yeah, he was an interesting character. I mean, Cosby didn't kill anyone. Like,
he has that going for him.
I think objectively here,
if you look at the body,
Bundy is the far greater monster of the two, and it's not to quantify, who's the worst, but Bundy was truly evil, and I don't think Cosby killed anyone, right?
No, he did not.
And I'm
as
assuming
far as
that
we know,
Bundy was basically doing everything that Cosby did, plus killing people and doing those same things to the dead bodies. So on that basis, you gotta pick Cosby. It's just.
But he was handsome.
Well, that's it. He had the ultimate.
But he
he
had some charm. So
people were literally like, this guy's charming, but monster.
So in my
monster.
opinion, Bill Cosby could have done the murders Ted Bundy has done, but Ted Bundy could not have made the Cosby Show. So I will pick
the Bundy Show.
Bill Cosby.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a clean sweep on Cosby.
Okay.
It's sad to know what was revealed about his life, but actually I know someone who met him as a kid, and it was like a spectacular experience for that person. I don't think he was a monster every day of his life.
Mm-hmm.
He definitely had some skeletons in the closet, but he
just do your
cranked
impression.
out some good material. What impression?
I mean,
A Ted Bundy impression?
Your Cosby impression. You have a great Cosby impression.
I don't know what you're talking about.
All right, so our 3 seed versus our 6 seed. My apologies. This should say trigonometry class. So you're in trigonometry class, and then your 6 seed is a lumpy mattress.
I'm gonna go first. Fuck lumpy mattresses. What the hell? I mean, I don't care how much you hate math. If without a good night's sleep, life begins to stop. So, quality sleep. I happen to like math and trig and isosceles triangles and figuring out tangents, but that's just me.
Yeah, I'm not picky about mattresses at all. In fact, I operated in college believing that sleeping on a poor mattress, which is what I did, motivated me to wake up in the morning. So I don't mind the lumpy mattress. I'm not picky about sleeping.
Get me out of here.
About whether I'm not sleepy. I'm not picky about whether it's hot, whether it's cold. When I sleep, I don't sleep well as it is. So I will pick the lumpy mattress because I also hate math.
Okay. So Dan, you've got the tiebreak here.
Yeah, I mean, I can't be sending through a lumpy mattress over trigonometry. Trigonometry has some, great real world applications, and I don't really think there's much good. Like that's probably about as good as it's going to get. That it might motivate you to get up in the morning, but beyond that, I don't think there's too many benefits to a lumpy mattress.
Might be so uncomfortable you're motivated to get up.
Yeah. Whereas trigonometry, I kind of have
stand to lay here anymore.
fairly good memories of trigonometry in high school. So yeah, I'm putting that through. I think it was nice when it kind of all clicked together and you actually finally understood what you were doing. It was enjoyable. So yeah, for me that goes through 2-1.
I love math, hated trigonometry. I would have gone lumpy mattress there. All right, so you've got a powerhouse on the left side of the bracket. You've got losing your phone versus burnt toast.
I
mean, burnt toast is pretty temporary.
Yeah.
I'm not advocating. It kind of maybe
you
sounded
just
like
scarf it down.
Yeah.
Be done with it.
Losing your phone is truly like horrible. It's just breaking your arm was just a little bit worse. But like I lost a phone I think I went to a Dropkick Murphys concert. I might have even said this on the podcast before, but I went to a Dropkick Murphys concert, had my phone stolen like in the like crowd. So then realized at the end, so like had an amazing time at the concert, and I think realized like midway through that my phone had been stolen. So then spent like the remainder of the concert like trying to look on the floor to find it, and then I think I replaced that phone and went on holiday to Barcelona, and I had the replacement phone stolen on holiday in Barcelona on the subway. So I had like 2 phones stolen like within like 2 months or something, and now like since then I have everything's insured, everything, and both times I didn't have insurance on the phone, so I had to pay for a new like phone, and being in and actually there was a third time I lost my phone. I've done it twice on the way to signing into an Airbnb, and obviously you need your phone to get into an Airbnb because the details are usually within the app. So it was like once in Barcelona, and then I did the same thing in Poland. I left my phone in the Uber, and luckily was able to get it back. But yeah, losing your phone is a horrible, horrible feeling. Whereas burning toast a little bit is forgivable.
All right, so is burnt toast going through?
He speaks for all of us.
Yeah.
All right, so burnt toast goes through to the finals. And on the other side, we've got trigonometry versus Bill Cosby. Where are we going here, boys?
I'll go first, and trigonometry definitely wins out for me.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone's gonna vote for Bill Cosby.
Well, AJ, could trigonometry have made the Cosby Show?
Serial killer.
I don't know that the trigonometry show would have had as many laughs, AJ.
Trigonometry has developed the world. I mean, everything is trigonometry. Everything is right angles. Everything around us. I can't vote against Trig.
So Trig is through. What would you have voted for, Joe?
Yeah, I mean, I respect trigonometry. I have no respect for Bill Cosby. So,
all right. So we come to our final. The final we all predicted. We've got trigonometry versus burnt toast.
This is horrible. This is the worst bracket we've ever had on the show. I'll let someone else go first on this one.
For me, it's burnt toast all the way. Again, that's a 5-minute thing.
I mean,
trigonometry class could be 90 minutes, 80 minutes.
I'm gonna rebuttal that.
You like math? Listen, there's nothing wrong with that. Don't be ashamed.
I do love math. Personally, I love math. I love the fact that you can figure it out. There is always a solution, and if you try hard enough, you can come to that solution. But I mean, trigonometry, who was invented by? Archimedes, Ptolemy, one of them real smart dudes who thousands of years ago figured out the curvature of the earth based on sun locations in
was it not Pythagoras?
Greece versus it might have been Pythagoras, yeah. But I mean, calculating those kinds of trajectories over thousands of miles with no technology, it's brilliant, coming down to like, within feet of that just using trig, I think is pretty impressive. Trig all the way.
Yeah, I mean, I know it doesn't say class on here, and I think me and AJ are kind of both basing this on trigonometry as a general kind of discipline or mechanism. I just think it's so hard to look beyond that, and even as a class, you're being taught about that. So I think the two guys that enjoy math or maths, I don't know what you call it in the States, probably win out here, I think. And trigonometry, I'm gonna vote for that trigonometry class.
Okay. Trigonometry class ran through Lumpy Mattress and Bill Cosby. Tight race with the burnt toast, but trigonometry wins out. Awesome. Thanks for playing along there, boys. I thought
Big up with that.
Apparently, it was invented by Hippicus, maybe. Never heard of him, but yeah, he is the one, not Pythagoras. Right,
okay.
Geopolitics. Right. So my bracket is up next, and we simply have the G8 nations, which I think briefly, or maybe now is G7, because someone got kicked out for being naughty. But we're going to use the 8 as they were. I think it might be back to G8 now. I'm not sure. I'm not up to date with it. But round 1 we have the USA versus the 8 seed Russia. Great matchup.
I'll start, Joe. I assume you're going Russia based on your past political leanings. So I'll go USA. Greatest country in the world, a lot of freedoms, a lot of great things here in this country. And I think, AJ, that'll give you the tiebreaker here.
I want to hear Joe on.
Do you really think of voting for Russia? I mean, I love the hockey. I always think miracle. You start to root for the Soviets a little bit. But no, I'm picking the land of opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
that was a surprise.
Oh wow, I'm blown away. Yeah, good old US of A. Lots of memories made here. Can't
Just
say
like
anything bad about Russia though, because them trolls are all up in this bitch right now on YouTube. So
all right, next up we
all
have
those Russian trolls watching our video.
We have the
it was
4 seed France against the 5 seed, also partly French speaking Canada.
I'll let someone else answer.
I feel like Canada is like cold, low budget France.
Yeah, I would say Canada first. I'm all for Canada. I wish I lived in Canada. I say that often.
So am I a tiebreak then between the two?
Yes.
You're going France, AJ?
I am going France.
I'm going Canada. Place I've always wanted to visit. It's closer, feels more attainable. Sure, France is cool and beautiful, but I don't know much about it. So give me Canada. Canada goes through.
Cool. France has a stellar record in wartime. The only war they've ever won was the French Revolution.
Yes.
They're very peaceful people, and that should be respected.
Has Canada ever fought in a war?
Yes. They also lost a lot.
I think they won World War II, yeah.
So next up we have the 2 seed UK versus the 7 seed Italy. Now, this will be interesting.
I don't want to hurt Dan's feelings here.
No, completely.
No, I lived
apolitical in this.
I lived 6 months in the UK, and I couldn't have been happier living over there. I loved it. Loved London. Loved Bognor Regis. Shout out Mr. and Mrs. Brown. Loved all my time over there. So yeah, give me the UK. I've never been to Italy. Sure, it's great, but they also, I just picture a bunch of people from New Jersey just in a different country. So give me the UK.
Yeah, I'm
on the flip side. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, well, if you're gonna give the argument for Italy,
yeah. On the flip side, I've never been to the UK. I've been to Italy. It's got the food. It's got a lot of beauty in its places and people, a lot of rich history, as does the UK. But I'll go with my heritage.
Yeah, I'm UK all the way. I can speak the language there. That's what I enjoy.
That's clutch.
Same
That's a
thing
good
with
point.
Canada. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Cool. Okay, so we have our last first round matchup is the 3 seed Germany against the 6 seed Japan.
I mean, I could start again. Again, I've been to Germany. It was a delightful place. The food was wonderful. The people were people. I will say in the airport, I made it to my flight because I thought I don't know military time. It really screwed me up while I was over there, and I thought my flight was at 6. My flight was at 4. I made it to my flight with about 2 minutes to spare, and they let me on. So I thought that was very nice. I have no desire to go to Japan, no desire to travel to Asia. It's far too long of a plane ride. So for that reason, I'm going with Germany.
AJ?
I feel like these are two powerhouses in like the weird stuff genre,
The Axis,
which I like, and like just kind of strange, kinky stuff. I want to go to both of these places. I think it would be very interesting. I think I have a little more desire to go to Japan because I would appear more exotic there and would have a better time.
Okay. Joe, break the tie.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you, AJ. I think both places seem very exciting. I haven't been to either, but I've always been more intrigued by Japan because of the progress they've made with technology. I have kind of a utopian vision of Japan that is certainly not true. That's where I'm going, Japan, and I also think they're probably a little more lenient with English there as well.
Okay.
I was surprised. Like I was in Munich, but I thought they were very lenient with English in Germany. Spoke a lot of English. So, but shout out you, Joe. You predicted Hideki Matsuyama holding on last week. So
that's right.
Props to you on that. Shout out Matsuyama. Shout out Hideki Matsui as well. Dan, where are we? What are we looking at here?
So we have the 1 seed USA versus the 5 seed Canada. This is like a World Cup hockey final.
Yeah, I'm voting for Canada.
Wow, you're voting for Canada. I'm voting USA. USA. And I don't want to give 50% of my earnings to the government, Joe. So I'm voting for the USA.
Yeah, good old America. Canada, I feel like would be my escape from here for the things that I don't like about here. But I mean, there's just so much natural wonder that I've been exploring in this country this year. I'm down Key West, you know. This is just like a choice little spot in this country. I keep finding, better and better places to visit. It's got a lot of diversity, geographically and demographically and archaeologically and socially and physically.
Culinarily.
USA. Colonoscopy.
Cool. So USA goes through. All right. So next up we have the 2 seed UK up against 6 seed Japan.
I'll let one of you guys start.
I mean, UK definitely has cranked out a lot of culture that I partake in, be it music and movies, TV, stories, whatnot. Huge building block to our current culture. But there's just something so intriguing about Japan. I think maybe because it's so different, but like you kind of get a peep into Japanese culture through like anime and their fucked up game shows and stuff. And that shit just like boggles my mind. It's bizarre and I kind of love it. So I'll vote Japan.
Joe?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with AJ.
Wow.
It is very fascinating. I definitely respect all the cultural influence that the UK, but I would argue Japan has influenced us even more. For better or for worse. And definitely a bucket list place to be in Tokyo and watch my beloved Yomiuri Giants.
Yes. Well, Dan, that's tough for you. I would have voted UK, even though AJ
Sorry,
brought
Dan.
it up. But Most Extreme Elimination Challenge was actually watching it last night. Fantastic. Still holds
Nice.
up. But yeah, no, I would have voted UK, but Japan goes through.
Cool. So that sets up a final of the 6 seed Japan up against the 1 seed USA. How's this gonna go?
I'm still riding USA. I've stated many times, I have no desire to go to Japan. I respect Japan and respect what they've done for the world and all the innovation and whatever. But I don't care. I speak the language here. I live here, and I'm an American. Just kidding. But no, I gotta go USA.
Yeah, I haven't really made up my mind yet.
Yeah, me neither.
Should we flip a credit card?
I don't think I think you brought up a good point with the natural beauty of America, the USA, and I've seen some of it. I haven't seen enough of it. I think for the potential, I will pick the USA.
What would you have gone for, AJ?
Yeah, no, that sways me. I mean, I'm a natural beauty kind of guy. So Rocky Mountains, all the way up to Alaska, Hawaii, Florida Keys, Grand Canyon. I mean, just Utah itself has hundreds of unbelievable places to visit. Love it. USA.
Cool. All right. So USA advances through to the final 4 bracket, and that takes us on to the next one, James.
AJ, yep, your bracket.
All right. My bracket. We tend to be a little male dominated on this show.
Wonder why.
We've got 4 male hosts. We talk about a lot of male things. We bring a lot of male things to the table. So I wanted to rep women with my bracket today. Influential women in history. First up, we have the number 1 seed, Harriet Tubman, versus the number 8 seed, Caitlyn Jenner.
Possibly could be Governor Caitlyn Jenner.
Yes.
AJ.
But
I'm voting for Harriet Tubman.
Yeah, it's Harriet Tubman. Yeah,
same.
Easy one there.
Yeah, that's kind of a no-brainer. This next one is not much of a no-brainer, and it's actually a brainer. This is a full brainer. Here we got the 4-5 matchup, and I didn't write down their full names because I'm an idiot. So it's the lady who wrote the code for the software for NASA to get to the moon, like wrote it by hand on stacks of paper. And the other one is the girl who recently used code to capture the first picture of a black hole.
And which one's which, AJ?
Kate is the currently alive
Katie Bauman,
young woman,
and Margaret Hamilton.
Bauman. Yeah.
Okay.
They're both alive, I think.
Yeah,
not for long. No.
Bauman's the one that did the black hole capture. Joe, Dan, you want to start?
Yeah, one of my favorite Twitter things is every month that that picture resurfaces of her standing next to all the handwritten code.
Yeah.
It's like a big stack, and I
Yeah.
It's
like
like
it
as
every
tall as
time.
her.
Yeah, so I'll go with her.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
seeing.
I have seen the Black Hole Lady too. That's new, but I think that's all on that's all tech. It's not handwritten, as far as I know.
Mm-hmm. Dan?
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna have to go with the same as you, Margaret Hamilton. Also taking into account, the '60s and the era that she was doing this in is probably slightly more significant as well. Not to discredit what Catherine Bowman is doing now, but yeah, I think it's just that little bit more impressive. The fact that it was handwritten, and two, it was in a time where maybe equality wasn't as progressed as it is now, but not to say that it's anywhere near where it should be.
So that's two
Fair.
clean sweeps right now.
Yeah,
Clean sweeps there.
Maria knows. Okay, and our next matchup, we have two titans of women's rights and literature and suffrage. We got Susan B. Anthony up against Maya Angelou.
I could start on this one. I love Maya Angelou. I think she's written some beautiful poems and done some great work. However, there's only one of these two women that is on a coin, and that would be Susan B. Anthony. And I always loved my mom saying, "Oh, I have a Susan B. Anthony right here." So I gotta vote Susan B. Anthony for that reason.
This is some strong reasoning right there.
What coin is she on?
The dollar.
Uh,
I don't think she is anymore, but she was.
I
think it's Harriet Tubman now, actually.
Yeah, I mean, this one is quite tough for me because I don't really know either. So what I'll do is I'll vote for Maya Angelou, and then Joe can have the final say.
Yeah, I mean, Maya Angelou has obviously had a major impact on the world, besides Verdun, so maybe it's just America. But I also don't like, and it's probably my own fault, I don't know like any of her poems like offhand. Like I don't know what her like transcendent work is.
I know why the caged bird sings.
Oh, is that her?
Yep.
Yeah, see, if I still don't know that offhand, so unfortunately I'm gonna have to go with Susan B. But it's my own fault. My own ignorance.
Okay. So that puts Susan B through.
All right.
AJ, what's our last matchup?
Our final matchup in the first round, we got Marie Curie versus Margaret Thatcher. I said that right.
Pretty much.
Dan, do you want to start on this one?
Yeah, I mean, I would go for is it Mary Curie or Marie Curie, whatever. Either way, I think Thatcher was very polarizing as a character, and for every bit of maybe good that she did, there was an equally kind of bad action there as well. So yeah, and whereas I don't know all of the specific details of what Curie did, but in terms of impact on science and humanity, it's this one's an easy one for me. It's the 3 seed, Marie Curie.
Okay, Joe.
Yeah, I'm saying Marie Curie as well. So many advances in the medical world.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Make it a clean sweep. Marie Curie goes through.
She's moving on. Okay. So first matchup in the final four, we got Harriet Tubman versus good old Margie.
I'll let someone else go.
Yeah, this is a tough one, just because I feel like it's got to be Harriet Tubman. I mean, just the impact that she made, but then, like Joe said, that picture, it's a cool picture.
So the thing here is, I would say, is that and I know that there are things that come from it. but like technologically and stuff. But we could do fine without ever going to the moon. Like it's not gonna. Like going to the moon was very much a race thing, wasn't it? With the Soviets, and it's kind of just like, this is what we can do, and this is what we can do with technology and science and engineering and everything. And but had we not gone to the moon ever, life wouldn't be very too different for us today. Whereas, you're talking about someone who had a genuine kind of impact on society and millions and probably billions of lives from that point onwards. So, it's a no-brainer really for me.
Same. Harriet Tubman for me.
HT in the house.
Joe, where would you have gone? I want to see if this was a clean sweep or not.
Yeah, I would have gone Tubman.
Yeah. Okay. Harriet Tubman moves through.
All right. Next up, we have Marie Curie versus Susan B. Anthony.
Listen, if I use this logic in the first round, I can't stray from the logic. I've learned from Joe through the years, through doing this show. I know you got to stick to your guns, and there's only one of these two women that's on a coin. So give me Susan B. Anthony.
Is Harriet Tubman definitely who was the person that got didn't Hamilton get taken off of a coin or something recently, and there was a female put not on a coin, sorry, in a note.
I can't remember.
They're putting Harriet Tubman on a bill. I
was looking up is Harriet Tubman on the $20 bill, and the first one is Harriet Tubman still alive?
Yeah. So is she the one and she was replacing? I want to say it's Alexander Hamilton was on something. I'm not sure.
Was it Hamilton? I'm not.
Or Andrew Jackson.
Yeah, maybe it was Andrew Jackson.
I thought it was Jackson.
Controversial
because he was also a super racist. So that would would make sense for her to replace him.
Yep. Replacing Andrew Jackson. Yep.
But I mean, I'll take James's logic and use it against him. Hang on, wait. So you're saying Susan B. Anthony is on money and Marie Curie's not?
Yes.
Okay, I mean, my vote's for Marie Curie. There we go. That helps.
Yeah. Mine is still for Marie Curie. I just feel like the impact is greater for.
I knew she was going through. I just wanted to make sure Susan B. got a vote in there. So AJ, that sets up a pretty good final here.
All right. Yeah. I mean, hey, this is the debate that everybody's been waiting for, right? Harriet Tubman, Marie Curie. Which woman has made a greater impact on our world and culture?
So is there an argument that, like, so would we have had like the A-bomb and stuff like that without Marie Curie, or is she not really part of that side of radioactivity?
It's a good question.
I don't know, because it was like presumably she did, but I know that there's lots of applications of radiotherapy and radioactivity that are used as treatments and that
even stuff like X-rays and
hugely beneficial for everyone. But I don't know, that's one negative, I guess. If maybe some of her research then led into the sort of nuclear physicists of the 30s.
I believe
and 40s.
It did.
Yeah. So this is a really tough one. This is probably the hardest final that we've had today.
Yeah.
And I would go with, and I'm gonna again side with Curie based on the global application of her work, whereas Tubman is more nationalized or localized to the US and North America. So yeah, that would be my vote from a world perspective, would be for Marie Curie.
Joe?
That's a tremendous point. That actually decided it for me. So great job, Dan.
I was gonna make the same point, Dan. I think the global impact and the lasting impact that Marie Curie had, and not to take anything away from Harriet Tubman, but I think I was surprised that Marie Curie wasn't the 1 seed, to be honest.
Wow.
But yeah, I think she goes through on a clean sweep here in the final.
All right. Look at that.
Now, I just want to say I would have voted Harriet Tubman had she already been on the $20 bill, based on my logic. But since she was not, it freed me up to vote Marie Curie. So all right, so we head into the final 4 here. We got an excellent final 4 here.
Just like
we
random
have...
chickens walking around here, by the way. You see that?
Nice. Where are you?
Just everywhere.
Just in a random park?
Yeah.
Nice.
No, but they're like downtown. They're walking on people's porches. They're just chickens and cats all over this island.
Florida's a weird place. All right, let's go 1 seed, Blockbuster. 4 seed, Marie Curie. Would anyone care to start?
Lasting impact.
So here's the thing. For everything we just said about Marie Curie, what affects me on a day-to-day basis? What am I, how many times am I getting an X-ray versus how many times am I thinking about going back to a Blockbuster, spending time looking at movies and video games and buying their popcorn, and I'm sure they would be selling Funko Pops like crazy now. It's Blockbuster. I'm sorry, it's Blockbuster for me.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a tough. This is a tough one.
Tough.
You've got
it
one.
Shouldn't be tough, but
one's more sentimental and than the other, which is Blockbuster. And I think if Blockbuster probably still existed versus Marie Curie, then she wins out. But I think the nostalgia of a Blockbuster,
it's greater than its actual impact.
It gives it a little something extra.
None of us are nostalgic about Marie Curie, no offense.
No. So I think I will probably hold my choice back for now because I feel like where my head. I want to hear Joe and AJ's reasoning for whatever they choose, and that might sway me.
Well, I don't give in to nostalgia. I think nostalgia is pathetic and it leads to bad things. And
wait a second, you put your whole country or decade thing on nostalgia.
Nostalgia only.
No, that was romanticizing. It's different. It's different.
Yes, yeah. Okay,
I didn't live back then, so I'm not nostalgic about it.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with Marie Curie. I think there's a reason that Blockbuster's not around anymore. Just like all of those, I didn't foresee like a bracket of places that are now obsolete like doing well in the final 4 here. Sorry, no offense, but I mean it's over.
Oh, I mean, you spent so much time during that bracket talking about how there's a place for Blockbuster, and that what is that but nostalgia? I mean, you're a little hypocritical here.
Maybe a lot.
All right, so we're 1-1 here. I have coins in my car, and I just keep forgetting to bring them in for the event of a tie. But Joe, what were you thinking?
I don't know. You say like what's not only do you think about Blockbuster, but it's also like the impact of Blockbuster on streaming and like on demand entertainment. So there's that too.
Did it impact it though, or did it just get crushed?
It forced it to create
something way better.
It forced it to create because Netflix had a send DVDs to your home service, and it didn't work, so they had to create streaming.
I think they had the option to buy Netflix or something, didn't they?
They did
like
for
a couple mil,
300 mil. Yeah, something like that.
That's an oversight.
But they turned it down.
I mean, the lasting impact of Blockbuster is huge. Some would argue bigger than Marie Curie's impact.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just
So
reading.
only these two on this podcast. Joe, did you vote Blockbuster?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's 2-1. Dan?
I'm gonna vote Blockbuster as well. I don't want to flip. I don't want to flip a coin on it. I
Yeah.
feel like I want to vote Blockbuster, but I realize that it is a, a difficult choice. And I'm going to. It's slightly discrediting, but I'm going to assume that that she was the first to discover a lot of these things. They may have been picked up by now by someone else. Whereas Blockbuster, Blockbuster was Blockbuster, and they've been and gone, and again, there's a personal nostalgic element there. I didn't know Marie Curie personally. She was long gone. Apparently, she carried like radioactive things in her pockets and stuff, and that's what eventually killed her. She had like radioactive material in her desk and stuff. So kind of the same as Blockbuster eventually felt like destroyed themselves, as did she.
She destroyed herself. Her life's work just like
came back to bite her. But
she realized like, oh, this shit's actually really bad for you. I shouldn't have been carrying it around for so long.
And in that sense,
dead.
I think she is kind of held as a martyr or whatever. She sacrificed herself for the field of research. Maybe unknowingly or unwittingly did it, but that I think they learned a lot from her experience. But yeah, let's go with Blockbuster. Let's just put it through. Let's end it here.
All right. So on the other side, we've got trigonometry class up against the US of A.
I
mean, this might be
it's
4-0.
This is 4-0.
It's not going to be 4-0. I will state a case for Trig. Because it's how do you fight against a whole country that's just been dominating the world for the last few centuries? I mean, so much to love about the U.S., but there's also a lot to hate. As much as the goods are good, it's also got some pretty big evils, and it's got some pretty big just like lurking in the shadows stuff that I really disagree with. And you know what? At the end of the day, trigonometry, it's just math. There's no politics to it. There's no debate about it. It's just like it works. This is how it happens. And there's only upside.
Well, I brought the BLT region to the group to incite chaos. So let's flip a coin, Dan. I think it's 2-2.
Oh!
I was going to say,
yes.
That what if the trigonometry class takes place in the USA? And does that change it at all?
Well, that's the great thing about trigonometry is it can take place anywhere in the world. Whereas the USA can only take place in the USA.
Okay, I'll flip this.
Actually, the USA has been taking place all over the world.
AJ, come on. AJ, I'm trying to help your argument.
I'm sorry.
What side do you want, trigonometry guys? Do you want the black side or the white and colored side?
It doesn't matter. We'll take the black side, I guess.
Okay. So that's trigonometry, yeah? I'm just going to drop it. Oh, the dark side wins.
The dark side!
Trigonometry pushes through into the final.
It's ridiculous.
Amazing.
We've got a final of Blockbuster up against trigonometry class. Are we going to have another coin?
I mean, this has to be Blockbuster. I'm putting my vote out there for Blockbuster.
I got to stay with my cat Trig over here.
Joe?
I mean, I voted for Trig one time this whole time.
Yeah.
And it was over Bill Cosby. Listen, I wanted chaos. I got it. I got it through to the final. Mostly, more than anything, I just don't want to do a full bracket of trigonometry, and Blockbuster has so many beautiful possibilities. So I'm voting Blockbuster. Blockbuster's the winner. Blockbuster was probably the winner right from the outset. We probably could have chosen that through to win. right at the start of this and saved everyone some time. But it's Blockbuster. Blockbuster's beating out trade.
So is this Joe's third?
This is Joe's third. Yeah. So
Congratulations, my man.
Still with no wins. So I think what we should do, because obviously Joe's not going to come with 3 regions and AJ with 1 next week. I think we should just throw everything into the finals. So now our finals, we've got Jack Black, still the only unanimous winner. We've got the Rolling Stones, we've got Ketchup, and now we have Blockbuster. I think we should just randomize who comes to the table with what next week. What do you guys think?
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah. So let me just pull it up real quick.
So I don't necessarily have to do Ketchup.
Yeah,
you guys
exactly.
Might get stuck with it.
Exactly. We'll say Jack Black's number 1. We'll say Ketchup is number 2. Rolling Stones is number 3, and Blockbuster is number 4. So with that, we have Dan doing Jack Black, Joe with Ketchup, AJ with the Rolling Stones, and I get Blockbuster. So
nice.
That's how it'll be next week.
We're all creating new brackets based on like a subset of that.
Yeah, so the subset of that, and then they'll go to the final 4, and then the ultimate winner of that final 4 will be declared the winner, representing their region. So just to go over it again, and you've got Jack Black, Joe Ketchup, AJ, you've got the Rolling Stones, and I've got Blockbuster. I think this actually played to all of our strengths here. So I think Joe's gonna have maybe the hardest time with the Ketchup region.
Poor Joe. Like
that's not even my thing.
It's not even his.
That's
right.
3 times out of 4 and get stuck with the Ketchup. Are you kidding me? Oh man.
Sorry. So it's how the randomized list worked. So
I'm sorry, Joe.
So that's what we can look for next week. Let's wrap it right there. AJ and I have a Nicolas Cage podcast to go record. Go check out The Wicker Man wherever you get your podcasts. But yeah, we'll be back next week with our final of the ultimate bracket of things, and then I guess we'll be back to drafts after that. But thanks everyone for watching. Bye.